Good morning and welcome to Mobile Device Manager Plus training. Let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Induja. I'm a product specialist with Manager Engine MDM and I'll be your trainer for the day. This training is scheduled for 3 weeks and we are on week 3 now. And today we will be talking about model management of Windows 10 and Mac machines on MDM solution. If you want to take a look at the previous training sessions that are completed, you can refer the link that is given here, or you can request an personalized demo session by registering on the chat box. Our agenda for the day is as follows. Firstly, we will have an overview of Mobile Device Manager Plus. In this section, we will have a general introduction about the product and we'll also discuss the architecture and required ports. So this section will be helpful for those who are not familiar with the product already. Following that, we will look into the enrollment methods that are available for onboarding the Windows and Mac machines into MDM. We do have automated enrollment via autopilot in case of Windows devices and ABM in case of Mac devices. So we'll look into that in detail. The next section is we will be looking at the procedure to deploy different configurations on the devices. Configurations that include basic device or additional security settings. Moving on, we will look into the procedure that is followed for deploying applications or documents or any other contents to the managed devices from MDM solution. And finally, we will end the session by discussing a few use cases and its corresponding solutions. MDM supports management of smartphones and tablets across all the major operating systems like iOS, Android, Windows. And in addition to that, we do support Mac devices and Apple TV under Apple, Windows 10 laptops and Surface Pro devices under Windows, as well as Chrome OS devices. MDM is available as an add-on to our Unified Endpoint Management solution, which is Desktop Central. If you're looking at managing only the smartphones, then you can opt for a standalone MDM solution. If you want to manage the devices from different clients or different customers using a single instance, you can choose the MSP edition of our solution as well. All these solutions are available in both on-premises and cloud versions. When it comes to integrations, MDM can be integrated with our in-house help desk application, which is Service Desk Plus, or other applications such as Spiceworks, Jira, Zendesk, and ServiceNow. In addition to the help desk applications, it can also be integrated with our in-house application Zoho CRM and Zoho Creator as well. Zoho Creator is a low-code application development platform available. If you want to integrate MDM with any other third-party applications, you can make use of our publicly available API by following the link given here. Let us take a look at the architecture of the product, which comprises 3 major components: MDM server, notification services provided by the OEM vendors, and the devices to be managed. As you see here, MDM server leverages the notification services that are Apple Push Notification Service for iOS or Mac devices, Firebase Cloud Messaging Services for Android, Windows Notification Service for Windows. These notification services to make the devices to be managed. The devices in turn reach the MDM server to receive the commands to be executed. For the devices to be able to access MDM server even from outside the network, the MDM server should be publicly available by configuring the NAT settings. If it raises any security concerns, we do have an optional component called Secure Gateway, which facilitates communication from device to the MDM server without having to expose the server to internet by NAT settings. You can also integrate your Active Directory with MDM server, which will facilitate easier user authentication or assignment. Given are the important ports that are used by MDM for its workflow. If you want to take a look at the whole list of ports that are being used, you can refer the link that is given here. So how exactly does MDM manage the devices? In case of Android, MDM mobile application will get installed on the device, which acts as the management tool. Whereas on other devices like iOS, Windows, or Chrome OS devices, they already have a device management capability available on them. And MDM leverages that to manage those clients. So we'll first look into the important topic for the day, which is onboarding. But before that, let me take you to the MDM web console, and I will give you a brief walkthrough of whatever available applications on the console. So this is the MDM standalone web console. Over here on the home page, you will have the granular details about the devices and applications that are available on the MDM web console. And device management is where the actual management capabilities are listed, like configuration of profiles, deployment of applications, taking remote control of the device. These options come under device management. This particular tab was explained in detail during the previous session. So you can just get a recorded video of the previous training, or you can request for it on the chat box. And under inventory, you will have the option to find the device details, and you can also locate the devices remotely, meaning you can track the device location without having the access to it. The next tab is enrollment, where we will look into the onboarding procedure. This tab will be explained in detail in a few minutes. Reports and admin tabs will give you the option to fetch the predefined reports, of course, and the settings for MDM server. In case of on-premises server, you have all the server related configurations that can be set up here. And with support tab, you have the help documents and the ways to reach us. If you have any questions during the course of this session, please feel free to comment on the chat box, so our panelists will be able to help you. So moving on to the topic for the day. So to onboard the devices, we'll first look into the autopilot enrollment method, which accords to Windows devices. Here is the workflow for autopilot enrollment method. The first thing that you need to do is you need to have an account on the Azure portal. You must have created your Azure admin account, and you can integrate it with the MDM server. After it is integrated, you need to add all your purchased devices under your Azure account. And since it is integrated, it will get reflected on the MDM console as well. After that, you can distribute the devices to the end users. After deployment, when the device is activated, or in other words, when it is reset, the device will get enrolled into MDM automatically. So the prerequisites for this enrollment is you need to have a third-party certificate for security reasons to be added on the MDM console. And as I mentioned, you need to have Azure Administrator account. And then to add the devices there and assign it to the users via MDM, you need to have adequate licenses on the Azure portal. So when you want to configure autopilot enrollment on the MDM web console, you need to move to enrollment, and under Windows 10 you will have Azure enrollment option, and when you click on it, you will have similar tab here. All right, and then you can click on next, which will take you to the Azure portal. Over here you can integrate the MDM solution that you use, by moving to Azure Active Directory and Mobility MDM and MAM option. Over you will have Add Application option. Click and integrate your MDM console. On the MDM console, you have 3 URLs to be copied. One is terms of use URL, discovery URL, and app ID URI. So all these 3 needs to be copied and these needs to be pasted on the Azure portal. So over here, when you click on Add Application, you will move on to the integration process, but the integration instruction will differ for on-premises and cloud solutions. So we'll first look into the integration of MDM on-premises solution, and then we'll move on to the cloud part. In case of on-premises, after you click on Add Application, you need to search for on-premises MDM application. And when the application is selected, you can click on Add, which will add the application here under Mobility MDM MAM option. After this, you can configure the settings by clicking on the name, and you can enter the URLs that are copied from MDM console. So the terms of use URL, discovery URL, and there was another data that we copied, which is app ID URI. That needs to be entered by clicking on premises MDM application settings option. When you click on it, you will get an option as managed, where you need to click on expose an API and enter the app ID here. After entering these details, you can navigate back by clicking on configure option and then saving it. So once the settings are saved, MDM on-premises will be integrated with your Azure account. You should not search for on-premises MDM application. Rather than that, you need to search for Manage Engine MDM. Over here, after selecting the application, you can click on Add. And similar to the on-premises application, it will get listed. And when you click on the name, you will get an option to configure the settings. But the difference here is you need not configure the application ID here. You can just enter the first 2 URLs and then click on Save, which will take you to the Windows Business Store, where you can configure your settings by logging on to your credentials. And then after moving to the Manage option, you can proceed with adding the devices. Before adding the devices, we need to make sure that we have the autopilot deployment profile available there, which facilitates the automatic enrollment of Windows devices. So we will first create the deployment profile and then we'll move on to the addition of devices. Over here, you can click on autopilot deployment, click on create profile. You can give it a name. So here we are giving Manage Engine MDM profile, and you can configure the options that can be skipped during the enrollment process. So as you see here, you can skip the privacy settings, and by default, the initial setups like setting up the work or school option or OEM registration steps, all those options will be restricted by default. That is, the user will not be able to access it. Those parts will be skipped. So you can also skip your privacy settings. And if you are going to provide the device to a contract employee, and if you do not want them to access or create any local admin account, you can prevent that as well. And then you can click on create, so the profile gets added, and then you can move ahead to add the devices. So when you click on add devices, it will prompt you to enter a CSV file. Upload a CSV file with all the details about the devices available. So you can just click on add devices, give it a name and click on add. After it is added, you can just click on refresh my list, which will show you the list of devices that are uploaded via CSV. So the Excel sheet that I uploaded contained only one device, so that device is listed here. As you see here, there is no deployment profile associated with the device. So now you can move ahead to the next step, which is applying the profile. So you can just choose the device and choose the profile to be deployed by clicking on Apply Manage Engine MDM Profile. So as it is shown here, the profile will get added. So the device will automatically get synchronized and listed under the MDM console, which upon activation will get enrolled into MDM and listed under managed devices. So on the MDM web console, this is how it will look like. The device will get added. Here you need to assign the user to complete the enrollment. You can click on assign user. You can choose whether the same user as in the Azure portal needs to be assigned here on the MDM console as well. Or if you want to assign a new user, you can go with the other option and enter the user details. And if you want the device to be assigned to any default groups on MDM, you can choose that as well and give it a name. And when you click on assign, the device will get moved to the list of managed devices as it is shown here. If you have enrolled multiple devices via Azure Autopilot enrollment, and there are say hundreds of devices here, you need not assign users individually. You can go with bulk user assignment option as well. You can click on assign users option here, download the CSV file which contains the devices that are awaiting user assignment, fill in the details, and you can upload it back, which will assign the user details to all the devices at the same time. Now that we have seen the enrollment of Windows devices, we'll move on to the enrollment of Mac devices. Enrollment of Mac via Apple Business Manager is similar to the workflow of Azure Autopilot and enrollment as well. Here also, you will be integrating your portal, that is the ABM portal, with the MDM server. And after integration, you will be adding the devices to the ABM portal under your account details. Once it's integrated, you can deploy the device to the end users. And when they activate it, the device will get enrolled into MDM automatically due to integration. So this enrollment method follows the same procedure, same Apple Business Manager enrollment procedure that we follow for iOS devices as well. That is the smartphones and the iPads. So we are not going to cover the same enrollment procedure again. You can take a look at the previous completed training session, or you can request a personalized demo session by dropping a comment on the chat box. So now we'll move on to the next topic for the day, which is deployment of configurations. So we'll first look at the configurations that we are going to deploy for Windows 10 laptops, and then we'll move on to Mac devices. In case of Windows devices, you can deploy configurations such as Wi-Fi, VPN, email, etc. And also security settings such as passcode restrictions and other restrictions. And also locking down the device with one or more applications that MDM admin wants. So let me take you to MDM web console and I'll show you how it will look like. So you need to move to device management, profiles. You can click on create profile Windows. You can just give it a name. And here, these are all the policies that you can configure and deploy on the Windows devices. So the first policy, as we have seen on the slide, is the Wi-Fi policy, wherein you can enter the SSID, that is the network ID of that particular Wi-Fi configuration that you want to deploy. And then you can choose this option if the device wants to get connected to this particular network whenever it is in the vicinity of the network. So you can just choose this, choose the security type, enter the passcode. So the importance of entering the passcode here and deploying the configuration remotely is that you need not expose your corporate network passcode to the end user. You can just enter it here and deploy it remotely. So this particular network will be available by default on the device. The end user need not manually configure and then connect to it. So you can just add this. If you have your proxy configurations available, you can configure that as well. And once this is done, you can click on save. So this policy will get saved here. When you save a Wi-Fi configuration, you will get an option to add new configuration as well, meaning you can apply 2 or more Wi-Fi policies on the same profile, which will make sure that even if one network is down, the device will get connected to any of the other available networks. This is to ensure that the device always stay online and it always stays inside the MDM's management. Similar to Wi-Fi configuration deployment, you can go ahead with the VPN configuration deployment as well. You can choose the VPN type that you are using. And if MDM does not support the kind of VPN that you are using currently, you can just click on need support option that's available here and you can show your interest here. And after choosing the connection type, you can just enter the server details and the authentication settings. And this is an important option, which is ParaVPN. So when you configure a VPN policy and deploy it to the device, it applies to all the applications on the device as a whole, which will obviously affect the bandwidth of the corporate network. So if you want to make sure that only selected applications should use your VPN configuration, then you can choose this one and enter the applications to use it. And after this, you can save the policy, which will have this particular configuration deployed on the device as well. And Exchange is one of the commonly used mail servers in business environments. So MDM does support deployment of Exchange ActiveSync to the devices remotely. So as you see here, we do support both online and on-premises version of it. So you can just choose the one that you use. In case of on-premises, you can choose it and enter the server details. And if not, if it's an Exchange Online solution, you can choose that one. So the server details will get auto-filled. And a common doubt with the users when you deploy Exchange ActiveSync policy is that the email policies are user specific. So how does it apply to the devices via MDM? So that happens with the help of the dynamic variable, which is the UPN, that fetches the username and email ID that is assigned to this particular device under enrollment tab. So based on that, the corresponding email account will be configured on the mail client on the device. So these are all the configurations, like the basic settings and configurations that you deploy to the device for smooth functioning of the devices in an enterprise environment. When it comes to security settings, the first thing that comes to mind is passcode. So you can configure the criteria with which the end user needs to set a passcode on the device. So you can set the passcode length and the minimum passcode age. And you can also set the idle time before the device should get locked. So for example, if I set, say, 15 minutes, so the device will stay unlocked for 15 minutes. And if it's idle for more than that, it will get auto locked. And you can also configure the passcode history to make sure that the device user is not using the same password multiple times. And the number of failed attempts is the number of times that the user is allowed to enter wrong password before the device actually gets factory reset. So you can just configure these and save the policy here. And the other set of security settings is restrictions. So as you see here, MDM does have the restriction for camera and screen capture and also installation of applications, because non-store applications are one of the major sources of malwares on the devices. So you can just deny those applications. So the users will not be able to install any application without MDM admin's approval. So once you configure a policy, once you save it and then publish it, the published profiles will get listed here, and you can deploy it to the required devices by moving to Groups and Devices tab, Devices, choose the device by filtering out the type, and then clicking on Associate Profile, choose the profile and click on Select. So the particular profile and the policy that is configured on that profile will get applied to the device. Now, other important option that we saw is locking down the device with one or more applications. So for that, we need to move to the profiles and kiosk mode. So under kiosk, we do have both single app and multi-app kiosk modes. You can choose the one that you require in your organization. So when you choose single app kiosk mode, only one application will be displayed on the device screen, and the user will not be able to access anything else on the device. If you choose multi-app kiosk mode and provide multiple applications here, the user will have multiple applications available on the screen, and the user can toggle between those applications, but he cannot access any other applications that are not allowed. So one important advantage here is you can automatically install the Windows applications on the device, even if it is not already installed on them. So in case of desktop applications also, it could be added here. So once the policy is configured, saved, published, and associated with the devices using the same path that we have seen earlier, this is how it will look like on the device. So only the selected applications will get listed along with the Manage Engine MDM application. So moving on to the Mac machines, options available for Mac as well. That is, we do have options to deploy Wi-Fi VPN and Parap VPN configurations along with the security restrictions. So here, let me create a Mac profile. And the passcode restriction options are all similar to the one that we have seen earlier for Windows devices. You can configure the criteria with which the end user needs to set a passcode. And then you can configure the restrictions like camera or screenshot restrictions, along with restricting the user from accessing the device via any biometric passcodes. Or there is another important restrictions, which is sharing the passwords with the devices in proximity. Apple actually introduced this to facilitate easier access of device on the personal scenario. But when it comes to enterprise environment, this is not ideal, as it will facilitate the corporate passwords to be shared with unauthorized devices as well. So in such case, you can restrict these options. And Wi-Fi VPN and Parap VPN configurations are all similar to the one that we have seen for Windows. Another important option here is you can also deploy certificates to the devices. So if you want to deploy any security certificates to the devices directly, you can add the certificate by uploading the certificate file here. If you want to configure a password for it, you can configure it and click on Add Certificate. So all the added certificates will get listed here. So if I want to choose an existing certificate, I can just choose it and verify the certificate details if that is the one that I want to deploy. And I can click on save, which will add this certificate to the profile that I'm currently creating. If you want to deploy certificates to the users, that is, it's a individual certificate created for every user dynamically based on the credentials. In such case, you can go with SEEP configuration. So MDM does allow integration with SEEP or third-party certificate repositories like DigiCert. So after integrating, you can just create a template, and by clicking on save, it will get added here. We also have options like system extensions and privacy policies. So with system extensions, there might be applications which will require kernel level permissions on the Mac devices. So instead of letting the users manually select it, you can allow it via MDM itself remotely. You can just enter the identifier. Team identifier is nothing but the identifier of the vendor who will request the permission, that is the kernel level permission. So you can just enter the identifier here and choose whether it is you want to allow all the extension categories, if it's kernel level or network level or only certain things. So you can just add it here, and by clicking on save, this policy will get added to the profile. Same goes with the privacy preference policy also. So there might be applications which will require privacy permissions, and it will prompt for the end users every time. So instead of letting the application prompt the end user, you can configure it remotely beforehand by providing the application details and allow the permission that you want to give the app. So an important option that needs to be noted here is these restrictions like camera, microphone, and screen recording permissions can only be restricted via MDM policies. It cannot be granted via MDM policies. That needs to be done manually. So this is an important thing to be noted here. The other permissions can be left to user control, or you can restrict it directly here. And there may be scenarios where one application requires permission from any other application. So you can just enter the identified detail of the application to be accessed and save the policy. So these are all the options available for the Mac device via profiles. So as an IT administrator, a common question is what happens when someone breaks into the Mac machine that is managed by the organization and gets hold of the corporate data. So this can be prevented via MDM by configuring file vault encryption. So file vault encryption is basically encrypting all the corporate data on the device using personal key or institutional level recovery key. But it's always recommended to go with a combination of both, that is personal and institutional level recovery key. So you can just choose the required option, fill in the required details. So if you want to upload the certificate, you can just add it here and save the policy. So only the admin will be able to decrypt the data that is available on the device. You can also configure firmware password, which also accords to the security of Mac devices, or in other words, the corporate data on the Mac devices. So even when someone tries to boot the device from an external disk, they will have to access it by entering the password that is given here. So you can just provide a firmware password and save it up and deploy it to the devices. This also contributes to the security of corporate data on the Mac devices. So now that we have seen the management of data on the device, we will see how to deploy the applications or contents from MDM to the devices. First, we'll see how to deploy applications from Apple Business Manager to the Mac devices. So the silent app installation workflow similar to session. So you first have to integrate your Apple Business Manager portal with MDM server, and then you need to purchase all the applications on ABM. Due to integrations will automatically get synchronized with MDM, and it will get deployed to the devices. And when deployed, it will get installed automatically. That is, it will not prompt for user authentication or user credentials. So as we have gone through the entire application management process in our previous sessions, we are not covering it today. Please do take a look at the previous session or opt for a personalized demo session. So I will just show you the option on how to distribute the application. So once the application is added under app repository via Apple App Management, you can move to groups and devices, follow the same path like we did for profile association. You can just filter out the device type, and then you can choose the application that you, and you can choose silent installation and distribute it to the. So coming to Windows application management, we'll see how to silently deploy the store applications. We'll move on to the management of enterprise applications on. So to deploy store applications from MDM to the devices or Windows devices, the prerequisite is you need admin account, because without that we will not be able to integrate our Windows Business Store with MDM solution, thereby distributing the applications. So you need to move to device management, app repository, and when you click on Windows Business Store, you will get the option to integrate the Business Store with MDM as the first step, to which you need to agree and click on Login Now, which will take you to the sign-in page where you need to provide your credentials. After that, you can just accept the terms and conditions, which will prompt the MDM application to be activated from the console. From the MDM console, you need and proceed to it. So the application gets verified, and all the applications that you have added on the Azure portal will get synchronized under MDM automatically. So the applications will get synchronized. So these applications can be deployed to the required groups or devices using the same path that we have seen earlier. If you want to purchase any additional application on the Windows Business Store, you can do that by moving to the Azure portal and clicking on Shop for My Group and enter the application name. After the application is searched, you can click on it and click on Get the App option, which will synchronize the application to your MDM app repository. So after the management of Play Store applications, we'll now move on to the management of enterprise applications. So here under app repository, you do have the option to upload enterprise application here. By clicking on those, you will get the option to upload the application file. So as an example, let me just choose an Apex file that I have for an example here. So after uploading it, the application will get listed under app repository. So if you have any dependent files that needs to be applied, you can apply it here. So the dependency files need to be approved or obtained from the app developer. So since it's an in-house application, the developer will be in charge of it. So you can get the dependency file from them. You can apply it here. and you need to enter the bundle identifier for this particular in-house application. So if you have any questions with this, you can follow the link that is given here, which will elaborate on the process of obtaining the bundle identifier. So after filling in these details, when you click on save, the application will get added under app repository. And once it's listed under app repository, you can move to the same path, groups and devices, choose the device. And here you can filter out the enterprise applications. So you can choose the application when it is added, and you can choose silent installation option to deploy it to the devices. Moving on, we'll look into how to distribute corporate data on the devices. So this can be done by under device management. So you can move to content management here. Add the document that you want to distribute. This can be a Word document, or this can be an image or a video file. So any content that you want to deploy to the corporate devices securely, you can click on add, select the document that you want to upload. So as an example, I'm choosing this compliance document here. So if I want to add a description, I can add it. And if you want to categorize it to any specific type, you can just mention that here as well. So you can click on done. So the file will get added here. Post which you can just choose the file and share it with required group or devices. So on the device, when you distribute it, this is how it will look like. When you open the MDM app, inside the content catalog, all the available documents will get listed. So if you have downloaded any specific, has downloaded any specific documents that you listed under downloaded files as well. One of the important advantage of using the content management feature on MDM is that the user will not be able to copy or paste the data, and it will stay only inside the MDM app. So you can find the recent applications under recents, and based on the categories that you had set here, it will get secluded and it will get listed based on the to open a particular document. For an example, if I want to open this detailed tender document, this is how it will look like, meaning it will not open outside the MDM application. The user can only view or access it inside the MDM application. And this will get segregated that you had mentioned. So now we'll move on to the final session, which is the scenarios and solutions. So the first use case is, we use Active Directory in our organizations to manage users, and is it possible to remotely add the Mac devices in MDM to our organization's AD? So this is a common question asked by the IT administrators, and this can be done on the MDM via profiles. So you can click on profiles, create a Mac profile, and over there you will have AD asset binding. Here you can integrate your Active Directory. So once it is integrated, when you click on it, it will directly take you to the directory services option available here. You can just click on add domain and integrate the kind of domain that you use in your organization. So once it is done, whenever a device gets added under MDM and it is assigned with a user from this particular domain, the device will also get added to the Active Directory. The next question is, can we share contacts and calendar events to employees' iOS devices? Yes, this is also possible by clicking on device management profiles, iOS profile, you will see contacts and calendar sync option available. So the contact sync makes use of CardDAV account details, and the calendar sync makes use of CalDAV account details. If you have integrated your Exchange mail server, and if your contacts and calendar details are available there, it will get automatically integrated. There is no need for separately synchronizing them using this policy. But if you're having your contacts and calendar details added on separate servers and not on the Exchange mail server, then you can make use of these policies to integrate them. And the third is, how do we secure the communications on the managed devices? So to secure the network communications, we do have an option called Global HTTP Proxy that is available for Windows, smartphones, and Mac devices also. So you can just choose Global HTTP Proxy, enter the server detail, and enter the admin credentials, which will make sure that all the network communications on the managed devices will go through your secure network. The next thing is, does MDM on-premises offer options to prevent data loss due to server downtime? So in case of cloud MDM, we do have multiple alternate servers available, so you will not face any data loss issues during the server downtime. For on-premises solution though, we have an optional component called failover server that can be configured to prevent data loss during server downtime. So that can be configured under admin, and you will have the failover server option available here. So you can just configure that, and you will have to create a database server separately, which will take care of the replication from the primary server to the secondary server. Once that is done, even if the primary server goes down, the secondary server will take control and there will be no data loss during the server downtime. Important point to note in the failover configuration is you need to purchase the additional failover server license to configure this. For now, we do provide 30 days trial period as well. So as you see here, the prerequisites are you need to have a static IP address, which needs to be accessible from both the primary server and the secondary server. And as I said, you need to have your database server created, and you need to configure your mail server settings for communication. The next scenario is, can we decide the data that is fetched and displayed by MDM for management, and can the same be informed to the users? Yes, this can be configured under device privacy here. So you can choose the kind of data that needs to be obtained from the devices by MDM. By default, IMEI and serial number details will be fetched. The other details like phone number, location details, everything can be configured based on your requirement, whether or not collected. So after it is done, you can choose whether to display these privacy details to the users or not. And you can apply this policy to only BYOD devices or both BYOD and organization owned devices as well. You can just save the configurations here, and clicking on save will impose this policy to all the available devices based on the configuration that you have set up. So far we have seen how to secure the data on the managed devices from MDM. Now, how do we secure the MDM server from being accessed by an unauthorized person? So that can be configured under server privacy. Under user administration, secure authentication, you can enable two-factor authentication here, and you can choose the mode of authentication that you want to use and set the password policy as well. This is similar to the password policy that you are deploying on the managed devices. So you can choose the passcode length and the other basic configurations or the criteria with which the technician needs to have a passcode. Normally, when you purchase the MDM license, you will have the default super admin account created here. It is always recommended to remove this and create a new admin account with advanced authentication enabled. If you have multiple technician licenses, user roles and specify the roles here by modifying it. So the next is, how do we secure PII data when the reports are being downloaded or exported? So you can secure this as well under admin tab under server. So you will have the option to hide the PII data or mask it, or you can also leave it to the technician when he exports the data. He can choose whether to mask it or hide it and then schedule the reports. So the last thing is, how do I notify the employees about scheduled maintenance or any emergencies in bulk? So this can be by configuring a profile under device management announcements. So you can create an announcement profile here. You can give it a name. So in case of any emergency announcements, you can give it the emergency announcement as a name, and you can type in the message, and you can choose whether it needs to be deployed as an alert or just a basic information or just an announcement. And you can also enable user acknowledgement here if required. And once you can distribute the required group directly here. The announcement will be displayed as a flash message on the screen.